It's Leah from ColouringQueen.net, and today I've got A Day on the Farm, which is a New Hampshire farm book, and it's based on a real-life farm called Moulton Farm. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's actually been actively farmed since 1890s, and this book depicts pictures of a day in the actual farm. So usually the colouring books that we see don't actually have a connection with something that's available in real life, but this one does. This is a real farm that you can go and visit. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and when KVR Classics, which is the publisher for this book, offered to send it to me, I thought this is really intriguing. I'd like to know more about this farm, and they have workshops, they have school outings, and it's a beautiful setting by the looks of it. Now, the artist behind this book is Patty Vadalia, and I don't know if I pronounce her last name correctly or not, but Patty also had another book that I've reviewed in the past, which was based on the Blue Willow China, and you can see that review at the link below. So this one's completely different. It's all for farmers and gardeners. So it's a little larger than A4 size. It's 12 by 9.5, which is a little bit larger. And as you'll see as we go through the book, there's a variety of different illustrations. Some are less detailed than others, but all with this farm basis. Now, the great thing is if you have a minor visual impairment, the bulk of the pictures, not this one, but the bulk have really thick, heavy lines. This one's got some lighter grey lines in the background to depict the background, and then the darker lines in the front. So they're very cute images. They're super cute, great for lovers of florals and lovers of nature type scenes. And the people in it are cartoony-like. They're not realistic, which is great because they're less intimidating to colour those types of pictures if you're just getting used to colouring skin and hair. So we've got the whole truckload here full of watermelons. You don't usually see that many trucks. And you'll see that some of these images you could use through the generations. So your kids might like to colour this book, but it's also great for adults that are starting out, adults with a minor visual impairment. And if you do know fancy techniques, you can really make these images shine and add your own detail and add your own textures onto the fish, etc., and really make them pop. Now, the paper is white, and it's a different sort of texture to most papers that I'm used to handling. So I'll do some experiments with some markers and some pencils later on and see how they perform on this paper. You can see that the images are both presented landscape and portrait style. We've got our gorgeous butterflies, and because it is single-sided, you can use your markers on here if you want to. So I love this one. This is super cute. Look at that gorgeous kitty cat. Now it's staple bound rather than glue. So you can practice doing your basket colourings. There's a lot of timber and of course a lot of lovely food. Be interested to hear if anyone's actually been to this farm, Moulton Farm. Apparently they take school excursions there, so that would be fun. So there's a corn maze there that you can try out the activity as well as colouring it in. We've got our wagon and all our lovely produce there. This one's gorgeous, isn't it? It's like a bird's nest full of produce. And we've got our cute little jack-o'-lanterns. And see how heavy some of these lines are. If you have a minor visual impairment, those heavy lines will be super helpful. But also great for younger colourists as well. We've got our scarecrow. The paper's quite smooth, and as I said, it feels a bit different to most papers that I work with, so I will do some tests and see how the usual pencils, etc. work on it. So look at all those pies. Look delicious. Then we've got this nice little intricate picture, very suitable for Christmas. And then some more pictures of what this actual farm is like, and it looks beautiful. For those that don't know, I'm from a farm, but it wasn't a produce farm or a dairy farm and a wheat farm. There we go. So we'll go over and we'll test out our markers and our pencils on some of the pages. So I'll test out my Prismacolors first. This paper feels very heavy. And then my polychromos, and I might add some markers to it, and we'll see how it goes. And now for the polychromos. So it's an alcohol-based marker, a little bit of ghosting on the other side, but not a lot, and nothing on the blotter page that I put there. My lines might be a little bit wonky because I always colour standing up when I film, so I don't get in the way of the camera, so I'm quite a distance away from when I would be in real life. So I'm just going to try these Z watercolours. No bleed through at all with the watercolours on there. The Prismacolors went down really well. It took a couple of layers to get some vibrancy out of the paper. I would have liked to actually spend a little bit more time with them, but I was trying to be super quick. The polychromos originally didn't go down that well, and I wasn't sure if it was because the angle I was on standing up or if I just sharpened them. But by the time I got to the second round of colour that I put on, they went down super smooth. So I'm just using a Spectrum Noir blender pen, which is my lazy way of blending things. I much prefer to use a blender pen or my own blending mix to blend rather than use a pencil. And I've accidentally got that into a bit of the black because the alcohol marker is not quite dry yet. Works really well with the blender pen, it works with alcohol markers, works with the Prismacolors, works with the polychromos. I tried the Zig watercolours on it as well. I haven't added actual water direct to it, so we'll do that now. Now, as far as using the zigs and diluting it with a bit of water straight on the page, it's not going too well. But it is not watercolour paper, it's meant for pencils, so we're pushing the boundaries. But what we can do is scribble some out and use it on a palette block. Until next time, happy colouring.